So one of the most common things that people want to learn how to do in Photoshop is remove the background so that you can isolate an object and the rest of the image is transparent. So there are a lot of different ways to do this, and I'm going to show you some of the ones I use the most often. There are two different ways that you can remove a background from a Photoshop file. You can either do it with destructive editing or non-destructive editing. So as you can guess, we want to do non-destructive. So what that means for removing the background is instead of using an eraser just to remove it, we're going to be applying a mask, which means that that background is still there. It's just hidden with this mask that goes over the top of the image. So the most basic method is the Lasso tool. You can get the Lasso tool by pressing L or going over here under your toolbar and selecting, it's like a cowboy lasso, you can't miss it. So you can make a selection with your Lasso tool of everything that you want to select. So right now, as you can see, it's not totally perfect, and that's why the Lasso tool might not be the best method for this, but I'm just showing you an example. And if I want to select the other art print, I'm going to hold down on Shift and then drag my lasso around with my mouse as well. I'm holding down on Shift to select more than one thing at once. So now both of my frames are selected, and to make a mask out of it, I'm going to go over here into my Layers panel and click down here, the mask. It's the rectangle with this circle in the middle. And now the background has been removed. My frames are cut out. They're really poorly cut out, which is why I'm going to show you a better method after this. And when you see this checkered background, that indicates that it's a transparent background. So you have your mask. Just make sure that the mask area of your layer is selected, not the image layer itself. If you're trying to paint in your mask and you have your image layer selected, it's not going to work. But as you can see, the Lasso tool right now isn't the best way to remove the background. That looks pretty crappy, and that's just me drawing with my mouse. So there's more precise ways to do it. So I'll go into that and show you. The first thing I'm going to do is remove my mask. So I'm going to Control-click on the mask section of the layer and click Delete Layer Mask. So the pen tool is really similar to what we did with the Lasso, except you'll be much more precise with it. So the way that I use my pen tool is by going over here, and we have our Layers panel selected. So I'm going to go over to Paths, and I'm going to create a new path. And to do that, I'll go to the very bottom and click this little box, and I have Path 1. So now that I have created a path, I'm going to use my pen tool and draw very precisely around these frames. So to get your pen tool, you can press P, or go over here to your toolbar and select your pen tool. It's the first one that will pop up. There's a lot of different types of pen tools, but we're just going to be using the standard one for now. So I have my pen tool selected, and I'm going to zoom in by pressing Command+ a couple times. So what I'm going to do is use my pen tool in a similar way that I used my Lasso, except it's much, much tighter and more precise. So I click to start my path. And since I've started my path, all I need to do is click and draw along the area that I want to have selected. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, so Command+, and then scroll up. This corner has a slight round edge to it, so instead of being perfectly straight, I'm going to click down here, hold Shift, and pull my selection to give it a slight curve. And this is what I mean, you can get much more precise in a way that you cannot with the Lasso tool or magic wand. So I'm going to finish my selection and get around the rest of this box. Cool, so now that I've drawn the path around this frame, I'm just going to do the exact same thing with the frame over here on the right. Cool, so now I've finished drawing my path. You can see it over here on the right. I'm going to zoom out by doing Command 0, which fits my artboard to my screen. So now I have my path drawn. You can see it over here on the right. The path is in these two gray boxes. Now I'm gonna press Command D to deselect, and that means that both of my paths are now deselected, so it's not one above the other. So now making sure that I've clicked my path layer, I'm going to go down to the bottom to this circle with the dotted line, select that, and now we're at the same stage where we can make the mask selection. So to get back over to your layers, all you need to do is look at these tabs, click the Layers tab, and now we're back. I'm just going to make sure my layer is selected, go down to the bottom of my Layers panel, and click the mask icon. As you can see, we just need to invert the mask, so select your mask and do Command I, And now you have that perfect, this has been the best one so far, where it's really precisely done, where the frames are completely removed from that background.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest videos.